Switching gears to a big story we've been following all day, the Latino Civil Rights Group LULAC wants a federal investigation into Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Members say his office conducted raids at the homes of LULAC volunteers looking for evidence of vote harvesting. They're calling these raids unethical and illegal. News 4 San Antonio's Marisa Mendoza is digging deeper. She spoke with some of the targets of these raids and has their story.
Those targeted in the raid by the Attorney General's office live in quiet communities, just like the one that you see behind me. To make matters worse, many are elderly election volunteers who are community leaders.
I don't do anything illegal. I follow the rules of the elections office, and I have never done anything illegal.
87-year-old Lydia Martinez is a longtime LULAC member. She says she has never directed voters to vote a certain way or worked on behalf of anyone. She felt humiliated when 9 officers from the AG's office and Texas Rangers raided her San Antonio home and questioned her for hours. They took her cell phone, laptop, and blank voter cards.
At one point, they had me outside in front of all my neighbors while they searched the living room.
Last week, Martinez shared her story exclusively with us, and her identity was hidden. On Monday, she was among several LULAC leaders and volunteers targeted by the Attorney General's office for alleged voter fraud who spoke out. She shared her story demanding the U.S. Justice Department to investigate the raids last week.
It was very embarrassing, intimidating, harassment. They searched everything in my house.
This guy's actions is scaring people in Frio County from even voting. That is their tactic, that is their intent, and that is what they are trying to do.
Senator Roland Gutierrez says when Paxton was being investigated for securities fraud, law enforcement never threatened him with weapons to get inside his home or office.
Nobody pointed a gun at him. Lock him up! Nobody pointed a gun at him. And yet, he is pointing a gun and intimidating our abuelitas.
The U.S. Census Bureau says in Texas there are just over 30 million people, and about 12 million are Hispanics. That's roughly a third of the eligible voter population.
I was born, I'm not an immigrant. I was born here. And here I am, an old woman, helping seniors and veterans. And here I am in San Antonio being harassed by these people. Why?
From the north side, Marisa Mendoza, News 4, San Antonio.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's Election Integrity Unit is leading the investigation into these allegations of ballot harvesting.
The News 4i team's Mariah Medina analyzed the history of the Attorney General's unit and joins us live with what she found. Mariah.
Yeah, Robert, Mandy, the scope of the unit's work and authority has changed dramatically over the last couple of years. In fact, for example, in 2022, a Texas appeals court found that the AG actually had to ask local prosecutors first for permission before prosecuting any election integrity cases. Now, in these local cases, Paxton did get a referral from the 81st Judicial District Attorney, Audrey Lewis, seeking the AG's help investigating allegations of vote harvesting and election fraud. State lawmakers harshened punishments for election-related crimes back in 2021. A series of bills made it a state jail felony to lie while registering to vote, and requires that the Secretary of State conduct random audits of elections every 2 years. It banned the unsolicited sending of mail-in ballot applications and requires an ID for mail-in ballots. The bill also criminalized ballot harvesting, that is, collecting people's ballots to turn in to authorized locations as opposed to the voter mailing them themselves. Now, the win Paxton last touted was the June 2022 conviction of Victoria resident Monica Mendez, who pled guilty to 26 felony counts of voter fraud, which included assisting a voter to submit a ballot by mail and unlawfully possessing mail-in ballots. But there could be more charges coming as the Secretary of State issued the findings of random audits conducted in 4 randomly selected counties. That audit revealing comprehensive issues with the processes in Harris County. Now here, so far, no one has been charged criminally in connection with the local investigation. Search warrants were also filed under seal. We'll continue to follow this investigation as it develops. For the News 4i team, I'm Mariah Medina.
Melissa Vega at the live desk. Well, happening right now, Governor Greg Abbott also talking about election integrity, saying since signing Senate Bill 1 into law back in 2021, Texas has removed over 1 million people from the state's voter rolls. The governor taking to social media to say that Texas has removed over 1.1 million ineligible voters from our rolls. The governor saying this includes more than 6,500 non-citizens and almost 2,000 have cast votes. The governor going on to say they are being referred to Attorney General Ken Paxton for prosecution, adding Texas won't tolerate illegal voting. Meanwhile, the Texas Democratic Party also sending out a statement a short time ago saying in part, quote, Governor Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, and Dan Patrick will stop at nothing to sow distrust in our election system, adding that Texans are ready to stand up for their rights and make their voices heard at the ballot box this November. That is the latest from the Live Desk. Robert?
Thank you.